to know your name. What's your name, man?
Alexander Hamilton.
As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, many events worldwide have either been delayed or outright canceled. This includes movies, concerts, conventions, and most notably, stage productions. My heart goes out to all those involved with these productions that are out of work, and I hope they can get back on the stage or at their venue soon. Personally, I was pretty saddened by this because I was looking forward to some of the events that were affected by this current crisis. There is a small glimmer of hope, though. To make up for lost revenue, as well as making many of these productions more accessible to their audience in this time, producers have looked to streaming services as an alternative to their traditional venues, since we can't exactly go anywhere at the current moment. Many movies that were planned for a theatrical release were reworked for online viewing, along with Broadway musicals such as the topic of this video, Disney Plus's live recording of Hamilton. It's very rare to see a stage musical get a live video recording, but when it happens, it's usually done pretty well and gives us an adaptation more accurate than any Tom Hooper directed musical. Unlike a typical movie musical, which adapts a stage play to fit a 2-hour time frame, recordings of the productions themselves give us the show completely uncut, with the songs and story being presented in their entirety directly from the stage it was performed on. It's sometimes through these recordings where many experience certain stage musicals for the first time, and such was the case for me when I first saw Hamilton about a week ago. In this video, I'm going to be giving my first impressions of the musical as a whole and give my thoughts on how well the recording was handled on Disney+. Before we dive into the first impressions, however, I must warn you there will be some spoilers. To be fair though, the musical basically spoils the entire plot in its opening number, and you probably already know the story from years of history courses in school, especially if you took AP US History in high school like I did. The basic premise of Hamilton is self-explanatory. It's a musical adaptation of the life of the titular founding father to his untimely death at the hands of Aaron Burr. We see his struggles, career, and rise to notoriety all set to a mix of contemporary music genres such as rap, pop, and hip-hop. I honestly liked this mix of genres as the music really kept me on my toes and kept me guessing despite already knowing the plot. What also makes this adaptation unique is the intentional use of colorblind casting to create new looks for these historical figures. The actors take their roles and make it their own to give us a pretty unique experience overall. Most notably, Lin-Manuel Miranda's take on the title character, which is fitting and humorously egotistical considering he's the brains behind this show. I never expected things like Hamilton and Jefferson engaging in a rap battle, yes, a literal rap battle, over establishing a national bank, but in the context of this production, it really works and makes for a more interesting watch. It transitions seamlessly from one song to the next, creating a strong flow in the story. The music and story have a consistent pace, with neither dragging on or going as quickly as they came. Each of these components perfectly serve their purpose as a cog in this musical machine. Another aspect I really enjoyed was the minimalistic set design, which keeps the characters and their story at the forefront without any extraneous props standing in their way to detract from their performance. You could say Hamilton is literally character-driven in that regard. Overall, while I was hesitant at first and initially wrote it off as overrated, I'm glad I gave Hamilton a shot. Matter of fact, it's actually become one of my favorite musicals next to Les Miserables, Notre Dame de Paris, and Beauty and the Beast. It's one of those I'll probably have the song stuck in my head for quite a while, and I hope this gets a proper film adaptation in the near future. However, if I may give some advice, don't let Tom Hooper direct it. And I would have said the same for Joel Schumacher if he were still alive. The only person that should be leading this movie is Miranda himself. Hooper would probably make it an overly literal adaptation like he did with Les Mis and a certain other musical that I shall not name here. No, get that dirty pile of kitty litter out of here. I am not reliving that atrocity again. Anyway, Miranda would be the perfect choice to write, direct, and produce a movie based on this show, since he is the production's creator after all. We could see his vision fulfilled on the silver screen and see how he integrates the music with a truly colonial aesthetic. As for how Disney handled adapting it for their streaming service, I'd say they did a fantastic job in terms of editing and cinematography. They managed to capture the stage musical perfectly on film, and it was nice of them to add details such as the intermission between the two acts. Even though they didn't need to add it, it does add to the experience and makes you feel like you're actually watching it in person. My only complaint, though, is how they censored certain pieces of dialogue, but I understand it was to uphold the Disney image. We can't have any F bombs uttered in something related to Disney now, can we? This is honestly how Disney should do any future recordings of stage productions. I would not just recommend giving Hamilton a look, but I encourage it. If you are a fan of musicals, this is an absolute must watch, especially in times like these. What did you think of Disney Plus's production of Hamilton? Feel free to let me know in the comments below, and if you liked this video, please be sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe, and click that notification bell for future videos. Join us next time as we kind of continue the musical theme by discussing an animated film that almost was one.